Hello everyone, this is Professor D here, and today I'm going to show you how to use Google Calendar. But first, you must log in to your Google account. Let's get started. As you can see, we are all signed in to our Gmail account. You're going to go up to the top, you're going to click on the 9 dots. Those 9 dots are also known as your Google apps. So you're going to left click one time and you can see all the commands and you can see the calendar command. Now, I do want you to know that you can move these commands and put them in any order that you like. If you go down to the bottom, you can see that we have Docs, which is like Google, it's like Microsoft Word. We have Sheets, which is like Microsoft Excel. We have Slides, which is like Microsoft PowerPoint. And we'll talk about those in another lesson. I do want you to know that Google Hangout is going to be discontinued. So we're going to be creating Google Meet. So it's a video conferencing call. So you'll be able to see whoever you are talking to. All right. So by default, we're looking right at our calendar and we see that today is May the 24th. If we go all the way to the left, we can see that we have a condensed version of the entire month. We're going to go over to where it says week and has the drop down arrow. I'm going to click on that. If you want to see your calendar in days, you can see day by day. I prefer the week mode, so 9 times out of 10, I'm looking at my calendar in the week mode. You can look at your calendar in the month mode if you prefer that mode. And you can also look at the calendar by the year, and you can look at your calendar by the schedule. And it's a bulleted list of every event that you have scheduled. All right. So I'm going to go back to week because I prefer that mode. Now you see that we have one event here and it's called Memorial Day and it's happening tomorrow. So if we go to the left under other calendars, we can see that we have holidays in the United States and this particular calendar is purple. That's why Memorial Day is in purple. So all of the holidays for the United States for my calendar will be purple. Now, can you change that if you want to? Yes. Just click on those 3 dots and you can make it any color you want. Now it's orange. Okay, but I prefer the purple color because it's my favorite color. If we go up to my calendars, you can see that I have my calendar. I also have a birthday calendar and a reminder calendar and a task calendar. These are all by default. When you create your Gmail, these will be created for you. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to schedule an event. So there's several ways to schedule an event. You can click on create, and you can schedule an event that way. You can left click in the time slot that you want the event to be created and you can add your information here. So this is I'm just going to say work. It is an event, so every meeting that I am scheduling is called in Google Calendar an event. I can also create reminders and tasks, and if I'm on my mobile device, I can receive those reminders and tasks on my mobile device. And if my computer or laptop is open, then I would get a notification of the reminders and a notification of the task. Okay, so this event is for today from 5 to 6. I can add guests here if I like. I can add a location and I can add a description. But I'm going to go down to more options. And it brings me to this window. Now, if I want to schedule an all-day event, like Memorial Day is an all-day event, I can just enable this box and it will create an all-day event for this work meeting. But I don't want this work meeting to be an all-day event. And if I do not want it to repeat, I can just leave this command does not repeat. But I'm going to make this event happen weekly on Sundays. So I'm going to say weekly on Sunday. And then I'm going to go back up and say custom. And the reason I am saying custom because it's only going to happen for 6 occurrences. So it's going to be every week, once a week, repeated on Sunday, and it's going to end after 6 occurrences. So I'm going to make sure I have 6 occurrences, and I'm going to say done. You can say never if you just want one event and you don't want it to repeat. Or you can say that this event is going to repeat on this day. And change and then click enable this on and then create your day. But I'm going to say after 6 occurrences, and I'm going to say done. Now, if we want to add a Google Meet video conferencing, we just click on this, and we are adding a Meet video conferencing. So I can have up to 100 people join me in this event. Okay, I can add a location if I want. I can get notifications via email, and you can set this to how many minutes you want your email to show up. And I'm just going to say 10 minutes. That's good enough for me. I can say notify me, which if I have my laptop or computer open, or if I have my mobile device, it will, and if I have the app for notifications downloaded on my mobile device, I will get a notification 30 minutes before the meeting. But if I don't want this, I can just click remove notifications. Now, if I want to set it for hours or days or weeks, I can do that too. So it's up to you. This right here, where it's giving you my email address, is showing you that this meeting is on this particular calendar. All right. And then if I go down to where it says busy, I want this from 5 to 6 to show this calendar, show me as busy and not free. But if you want to be seen as free, you can click it and say free. But I'm going to be busy during this time frame from 5 to 6. And I'm going to say default visibility, and this event follows the sharing settings of this calendar. Anyone who can see details of other events can also see this detail, including the description and names of the attachments. So that's fine, because I am going to invite guests. If I want to add a document, I could use this attachment and add a document. I can put a description down here, and then I can format in bold, italicize, or underline. I can number or have bullets. I can put a link in here, and if I don't want the formatting, I can say remove formatting. Okay, so I'm going over to where it says guest. I am going to add a guest, and I'm going to invite this particular person. And now what I have to answer is, do I want the guest to have permission to modify this event? And I do not, so I'm going to disable that. Do I want guests to invite others? No, I do not. And I'm going to disable that checkbox. But I do want my guests to see the guest list. So I'm going to keep that enabled. So I just want you to remember that we scheduled this meeting for 6 Sundays, okay, weekly. So I'm going to save this event, and I do want the email sent to my guests. So I'm going to say yes, send. And we can see for today, this meeting is created from 5 to 6. If we go to the next week, we can see it's created again. This is the 3rd week, 4th week, 5th week. Oh my goodness, look at this. The 4th week we have a conflict because June the 21st is Father's Day. We don't want to have a meeting on Father's Day, right? Because no one would show up. So I'm going to click where it says week work from 5 to 6, and I'm going to click the little pencil to edit. Then what I'm going to do is go to more actions, and I'm going to say delete. Now it's going to ask me, do I want to delete this event? And I only want to delete the one that's on Father's Day, but it does give you other options and you can pick the one you want. And I'm going to say okay. And I want the notification sent to my guests so they know that there is not going to be a meeting on Father's Day. And we're going back to our calendar and we can see that event is gone. Now let's go to the next week. We still have our event for, which is the 5th event for June. And we have, oh, I'm sorry, which is the 6th event. I'm sorry. So we don't have the one for Father's Day. All right. And we don't need the one for Father's Day. Holidays in the United States, we can see that this is an all-day event. All the holidays will be all-day events, and all-day events will show up at the top of your calendar. If you go up here, you can see my calendar, and these are all the calendars that by default are created for you. If you have a birthday in your contact, so you created your contact list, and what you can do, you know what, just let me show you. So we're going to go over to the 9 dots and we're going to go to contacts. And it takes a little while for my computer to come up because I have a VPN. So I'm going to create a contact. And then I'm just going to make up a name. And I'm going to say Debbie Walker. And I'm going to click where it says show me. Of course, I would fill all of this information out if it was a real contact. And I'm going to go down to where it says birthday. So we're going to say that this person's birthday is May. So 5/1/2020. Okay. And I'm going to say save it. And it's working. And Debbie Walker's contact is created. And I'm going to go back up to the Google Apps and I'm going to go back to calendar. And I'm going to go, we see we have Mother's Day. And here's Debbie Walker's birthday. So you don't have to forget birthdays anymore. You can just put them, the people in your contacts and put their birth dates. And then check your Google Calendar on a consistent basis and you'll know if the person has a birthday coming up or not. Anniversaries, whatever, right? So you can just put that information in your Google Calendar. You can see that this birthday is an all-day event. It's in green, and that's because this particular birthday calendar is green. Now you can change this birthday calendar to be any color you want. Whatever you change it to here, it's going to change there. So I'm going to take it back to green. All right, so there we see. So I'm going to go back to today. And what I'm going to do is we're going to create another calendar. So I'm going to go where it says other calendars and it's a plus sign. So I'm going to add a calendar. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new calendar. All right. And I'm going to call this calendar web design. Okay. And if I want to, I can put my description in here. And I'm going to say create calendar. All right, so it says calendar was created successfully. So I'm going to go back to my calendar. And let's say that on Tuesday at 10 o'clock, I'm going to create an event. So I'm going to click in here. And I'm going to say web design, just so I'm going to say web design meeting. Okay. And it's going to be from 9:30 to 10:30. And I'm going to go down to my calendar. And you can see web design is gold. And I'm going to put it on my web design calendar. And you can see over here that my web design calendar is gold. And I'm going to save it. right? So if I only wanted to see one calendar, say that I only want to see my web design calendar, so I would take disable Denise, I would disable birthdays, reminders, and tasks. Okay, and I have my web design. I'm taking off holidays, disable holidays, and now you only see one event, which is web design. So if I have these check marks enabled, I will see all of my events. You see, as soon as I clicked enable Denise Scott, right, my event comes back. All right, so it's pretty straightforward. If you want to look at settings, you can go right here to settings, click on the gear icon, and you can go right here to settings, and you can see that you can change the language and region if you want to, your time zone. You can change all of that. But what I do want to show you is that if you wanted to integrate, and I don't know if that is in here, but it used to be in here where I could integrate. Let me just make sure that where I could integrate a calendar on a website. Now, I'm not sure. They may have taken that off. All right, so I don't see that here available to me under settings. So they may have taken that off. All right, everybody. I'll see you all in the next lesson. Bye bye now.